Hey, coaches, welcome back to Football Talk with Coach Chip, right here on YouTube. I told y'all before, I try to be a viewer-driven, subscriber-driven YouTube channel / show here at Football Talk with Coach Chip. And this one's based on some correspondence via email and a little bit on Twitter X about pulling tackles. And then there's some other things that came into it as well that I'll explain when we get started. Hey, don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and stay tuned to the end of the video when I'll give you a list of the things that we have, the special offers. All you got to do is ask for it, be a subscriber and ask for it, and I'll email those to you, and you can hit me up at my email. All right, today we're going to be talking about pulling your tackle. And, you know, a lot of folks say, well, that's just dart. Well, there's certain times you need to do it, like pulling your tackle on power. Does that sound crazy? And this goes back to some of the questions I get to say, Coach, what do you do against a tight front? Or what do you do against a bare front? And a great adjustment is on your power, if you're a power scheme team, is to pull the tackle. Now, obviously, somebody needs to get that backside guy, whatever the 5 is, if they're a squeezing team. So you either have to read them if you're in gun or do some type of boot action if you're under center. You got to have something to constrain this backside guy. But all you're going to do is you're going to block your power on the front side like you always do. You got a gap down backer here. You got a gap down. He's in a 5. Excuse me, he's in a 4-eye. So he's inside the tackle, so he's got him. And then you get a double or just a gap down backer, depending on what scheme you use on the nose, and they're comboing back to the backside backer versus this 5-2/3-4 alignment. But a lot of teams have gone to this defense, and it can make things tough if you can't throw the ball effectively. We had a team a couple of years ago that we were much better than them, in my opinion, and the game was much closer than it should have been for about a half. But the reason why we was able to blow them out in the end is because we could throw the ball. This is not the best defense to defend the pass with, but it's a great one for stopping the run. And they did a good job of stopping our power game that night and our zone game. So we figured out a few things. Notice, so what we'll do, look at the angle that the 4-eye on the backside gives the guard, as opposed to now that 4-eye is one of those guys, he's got that big gap, and he's not going to let that tackle get inside of him on a traditional power with the guard pulling. As Woody Hayes said, you've heard me say it before, well, Woody Hayes was quoting Sun Tzu in The Art of War, avoid storming walled cities if at all possible. In other words, don't beat your head against a wall and don't try to do something the defense is bound and determined to take away from you. Because the defense can take things away from you. Remember, it's your job to figure out as an offensive coach, what can I do? What are they giving me by taking away this? So they're taking away this big gap back here. We'll say, okay, you can have it. And we'll just turn out right here and block him, and we'll dart. And the question in the email correspondence, it's been several weeks ago, I said, don't worry about pulling your tackle. Do you run GT counter? And he said, yes. I said, all he's doing, the tackle is doing his wrap that he does on GT counter. That's all it is. If you're pulling tackles anyway, you need to have a call. If you're playing a team that can do this to you, where you can just pull the tackle instead of the guard. Now, here it is against the bare front. I get that question all the time. What do you do against the bare front? Look, all gaps covered, hat on a hat. We're good. Now, I know they may play him. These guys may be in here a little bit. It don't stinking matter. You could do, now here's one thing I would do depending on my personnel. Let the H, the sniffer, J block the Sam right here. And we say, what is this? Or it could be inverted. The N could be here and the Sam could be out here. Let the H turn out here and let the tight end turn out there because the angles are better. But what you're seeing could be easily changed to where he J blocks the 7 or 6-eye, depending on who you are, and the tight end just turns out on the end. And now you got all these angles inside, and you got your wrapper right here. It's good from 10 personnel. I was now it becomes one back power. I was just talking to a guy a week or two ago. He said he runs 10 personnel. I said, well, If they got a three tech away from the side you're running to, you need to be able to make a call between the guard and the tackle where the tackle is going to pull instead of the guard on your one back power. And it becomes dart. And it's dart is power. You're using the play side tackle as your kicker, as you're getting the end man. Is because you don't have if you're in 10 personnel, you don't have that dude. Or you could be, with a sniffer over here and still want to do it and let the sniffer, as soon as the tackle pulls and clears, he picks up the backside end if you don't have a quarterback that you want reading that backside end. But now notice you got 5 guys to block 6. You're going to have to read somebody. All right, it's called math. Again, against 10 personnel again. And I just showed you this time instead of combo double teaming the nose, we're doing more of a traditional gap down backer and the center's getting the mic. Good versus underfronts. Now, underfronts have always been something that we would get a lot because we ran a lot of buck. And back in the day, we ran down when we were under center. So what people would do is they would get that joker and put him on the side they knew we wanted to buck her down to, and they'd put him here. Now, if you're running power, that's not an issue. But again, that 3 tech on the back side could be an issue when you're trying to gap hinge that joker. You don't have an angle, or you say if you're true gap down backer, we're going to pull the guard and let the center block back like that. That's a long way to travel. And so doing it this way, now you can do let him check the mic. If the mic's playing flat, go scraping over the top, then he can come back here and pick up that end or help out on the 3 if need be. Okay, if you're a true gap down backer team, that's why I've got it this way. I'm just saying pulling the tackle will give you more possibilities, and it keeps the defense from being able to scheme you out of one of your favorite plays if you love to run the power or you're good at running the power. Because that's the thing. Defensive coordinators, they look at the film. What do they do best? What do they want to do to us? How can we take it away? Because they know they can't take away everything. They're going to say, what play do you hang your hat on? If you're a hang your hat on the power kind of team and you're a gap scheme team, they're going to take away that power. And one way to do that is with an underfront, because now they can have this guy squeezing like a son of a gun right here, reading through the V of the guard's neck, and he's attacking the V of that guard's neck. As soon as that guard pulls, he's gone. Now, guys, I don't know who you got playing tackle back there, but I bet you he can wrap better than he can cut off that 3 tech who is trying to get in the hip pocket of that pulling guard. Think about it. Now, here you see an NFL team doing it, and this is closer to what I'm talking about. Notice 81, what I call an H right here. Okay, he's your turnout guy. Now, at my level, he'd be here. Okay, and we'd kick him like that. Now, these guys are doing a gap on down. He's going to slam him here, then come get here. He's in a 4-eye, so the tackle's locking down. Center's got him. Now, because it's a dart or a tackle wrap, the backside guard has got that 3. And then the tackle's going to wrap and come right here. All right, let's look. Look, watch this, watch this, watch that. I love this. This is good stuff, cuz. Boop. That's why I love blocking down. All right, now here's Penn State when Joe Moorhead was the OC there. Now this is more of a true dart. They're going to use the tackle over here. He's the kick-out guy on power. Now because they've set their strength over here, they got the back and the H right here. This is the strong side. It would not surprise me at all to find out that this was, they gave him the play. And they said, call it to the side with the best numbers. Duh. Look at the numbers here. You got 2.5 versus 2.5. And they're loaded up a little bit more over here. All right, here we go. Now see, they're using the H to gap hinge here. You're getting a block out by that backside guard, which is what you get when you run that. They're getting a double to right here. And there's no need to come off because here comes the tackle on that one linebacker. good play has been a better play. Go back to my gap down backer manual stuff, which is still available on Football Talk with Coach Chip. If that tackle will attack that inside number of the linebacker instead of here, y'all watch what happens. See, he's too wide. If he stays tight to the down block, he can get that number. Look how wide he is. Away from the down blocks, away from the double team in this case. So what is he going to do? He's going to attack the cockeyed inside, the outside number, because he's too wide. But if he attacks that inside number and the running back can hit it here, he's going to run for days. See? Inside number. Nope. And it turned what potentially a big gain, like 20, 30 yards, into a good gain. It was a good gain. All right, one more. And this is what you call a dirty run right here. This is dirty. He's running through the smoke, and it got dirty. And this is more like a draw, trying to suck number 4, the DN, up the field by pass setting him, and then turn out on his butt. A lot of teams do it that way. And this is more of a traditional dart than it is a tackle power. But you're getting the same thing. You're getting what I'm talking about. Tackles can pull. You pull them all the time. Good job by the running back running through that smoke. All right, that's good stuff. All right, coaches, that's it for this episode of Football Talk with Coach Chip. Here are a few of the things available free to you for just being a subscriber. All you got to do is contact me, siegel.chip@gmail.com, there at the bottom of the screen. Be sure to subscribe and like the video, subscribe to the channel, click on that bell if you want to be alerted every time. Check this stuff out. It's free. I send it to you in an email. Then I don't deluge you with a bunch of spam, because I'm too cheap to subscribe to those services that when you get those mass emails, I'm not going to do that. I'm not against anybody else doing it. I'm just too cheap to do it. No, I just ain't going to do it. But notice all these things. Some of it's under center. I've collected some articles. Got a great Bruce Arians article. Okay, got a new one, quarterback from Joe Namath. Bill Montjoy, a retired coaching legend up in Richmond, Virginia area, has been sharing things with me. He said, you use this stuff, Coach. You use it. I said, all right, I will. And a lot of the things that I've added to the freebie list are things that Coach Montjoy, who just wants coaches to have access. His computer at his house must be begging for mercy or have extra storage, because he just constantly sends me stuff, and I'm not complaining at all. Matter of fact, I'm bragging. Don't forget the copy of to get your copy of the OL manual for gap down backer. Promise you, if you struggle to run the football this past season in 23, if you get this manual and use the things that are in it, your rushing yards will increase, or you threw the ball more than you ran it. If you want it, contact me at siegel.chip@gmail.com. You got any comments, siegel.chip@gmail.com. Also, we started something new, not taking away from these, a podcast. The podcast will also be here on the YouTube channel, but I'm also putting it on Spotify, and I'm trying to get it up on Apple, but Apple's not as user-friendly as Spotify is. And I've got it up there, and it keeps saying it's processing or whatever, so I'm sure I'm doing something wrong. But check out the new podcast. Hey, until next time, be elite.